Walking trail in Elgin, Illinois, that people have been walking for decades. But for the last 41 years, people have walked down this trail not knowing and unaware of what was underneath the water. Today, we tell that story of Karen Schepers, found in March of 2025.
In 1983, a lady by the name of Karen Schepers. She had a promising career. She had lots of friends. She owned a bright yellow Toyota Corsica. She went out one Friday night in April of 1983 to a party she was having with her friends to celebrate a promotion she got from work. Well, it was a great party and everyone left. She was one of the last persons to leave. So she was driving home about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. She was never seen again. Nobody heard from her all weekend. They didn't think much of it until she didn't show up for work on Monday morning. Now that was very odd for Karen, than not to call off or anything. Now this was back in 1983. They didn't have cell phones or anything, so nobody could get a hold of her. So a couple days later, they put her on the missing persons list. Missing. They searched for her. Her dad was a pilot, so he orchestrated his own search. He got a plane and was searching local lakes and rivers and forests to see if he could find her car, because they didn't really suspect anything malicious. Years went by, never found her. Never found a car, never found her body. A forensic team and a search team took the cold case of Karen and they said, we're going to try to search. So they did a lot of research of trying to figure out where she was, her route home, because she didn't live too far away from where I'm sitting. And they said, okay, well, there was never a body recovered. There was never a car recovered. That means she is somewhere still with her car. So they really said, okay, she went into a body of water. Now this is the Fox River right here. And there is a road that actually dead ends into the boat launch. So they looked at the records of the river back in 1983 on that date of April of 1983, and the river level was high. Now you could see the river level there. They're thinking the river level was all the way up to the parking lot here. So it was high at that time. So they're thinking she has to be somewhere in the river here. So the sonars, they got some good high technology sonar, and they searched this river back in March of 2025. They ended up finding her. They ended up finding the car. A search team, a diver went down and came up about right in there with a license plate. They found it. They found the car. The car was literally right there. Okay? They could not believe after 43 years they found this car. They pulled it out of the river. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll see all kinds of footage of them pulling the car out of the river. The car was still intact. The back window, the hatchback, was broken, and they took it away and they searched the car. They actually found a ring in the car, and they found her remains, of course, and they identified it as Karen. Okay, so case solved. Now is what happened? What happened? How did she end up in the river? Now, let me explain something to you. Let's walk over to somewhere. I'm going to show you what, now I don't have any facts to back this up. Everybody's got their theories on what exactly happened. But you're going to see something here that could make sense. Now, if you remember in the news, it said it was 1:30 in the morning. She was coming home at 1:30 in the morning. Slade Street, which is right there. I'm guessing that she fell asleep at the wheel and her car drove right into the river. Let me give you a little science here. Cars back in 1983 were very heavy. They were a lot heavier than cars nowadays. So when that car hit the river, it would go down like nose first because of the weight of the engine, and then the wheels would cause the car to flip over on its back. That's how they found the car down in the river, was the car was flipped upside down. So when they pulled it out of the river, they had to modify the car before they pulled it out, because they did not want anything to happen to the car, because that car has been soaking for 43 years. So that car would just crumble when they tried pulling it out. Hauled the car away, and they found her. Now think about this a minute. For 43 years, she was right there. Nobody knew that she was right there. 43 years. People walking up and down this trail for 43 years, not realizing there's a lady in a car underneath the water. That is just mind-boggling to think about. Now, Karen Schepers, her family, her mother is still alive. She's 90 years old. Her brother, she has a brother and a sister, I believe. And they gave her a proper burial, I guess. They gave her a proper burial. She's buried somewhere. Now, that brings me to this. I have a cemetery channel called Cemetery Views. I would love to someday run across her grave so I could pay my respects and show her the love and the respect that she deserves, and pay my respects, because she's finally resting at peace and her family's got closure on what happened 43 years ago. The river looks very deep here. I mean, look at it. It looks really deep. So they found like 3 other cars. They found like 3 other cars in here too, but those were just junk. They didn't have anybody in them. They were just junk cars that ended up in the river somehow. But it just seems deep here, so it's very understandable that anything could be hiding in that water, because it's very murky. All right, that'll take care of this. And the reason why I know this is the spot, because they show these 2 benches in the footage, and this these concrete wall here was in the footage, so I know this was the spot. All right, guys, take care. That's the story of Karen. All right, that'll do it from Elgin. Have a great day.